Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is a very last minute decision to film this. I wanted to do this tag that I seen going around, and I figured, well, Lucas is eating lunch, I'll just sit down and do it. I didn't really get too ready for this video. This is just what I happened to throw on today, so thankfully I looked okay for this. Yeah, so I saw the baby names that I like but didn't use tag recently in a couple different channels, and I decided I'm gonna do that because we did have a lot of names picked out through through all pregnancies and stuff like that. So I decided to share the names that we liked but we didn't use. I've had 3 pregnancies so far, this being the 3rd current, and we have had names picked out for all of them. Some names we used, some names we didn't end up using because of gender or whatever. So I wrote down a list of the 10 names and I'm going to share those with you guys now. Yes, there's the dog. So the first name on my list was picked by me. It was from Landon, my oldest son, who is now 7. It was from when I was pregnant with him. These are the names that I thought of. Obviously Scott wasn't in the picture then. I was a single mom, so these were all me, this one. Landon's name was supposed to be Rowan, and from the time I was a little girl, I had always loved this name, and I always told everybody, if I grow up and have a little boy, I'm going to name him Rowan. Up until that ultrasound, I was like, yes, so if it's a boy, his name is going to be Rowan. And I went and got the ultrasound done. And once I found out it was a boy for sure, I was looking at the pictures of the ultrasound in the car. I remember leaving with my friend and my mom, and I was looking at the pictures, and I just kept thinking Landon. And Landon wasn't even an option. Like, there was no other boy names that were an option. Rowan was my only option. But I had gone through baby books to look at different names and for like girls and stuff like that. So I did come across Landon. I thought it was nice. Didn't really think anything of it because I was just so like hung up on Rowan. But when I saw this ultrasound, just for some reason in my mind, I was just like, Landon. His name is gonna be Landon. It was so weird. It was like the same day, just switched just like that from Rowan to Landon. I still really like the name Rowan. Scott never liked the name Rowan, so we didn't really consider it for Lucas or anything like that, but I still really like it, just won't be using it. The second name on my list actually was the girl name we had picked out for Landon, or that I had picked out for Landon, and the name was Shayla. And I just really liked this name. I thought it sounded very feminine and very pretty, and I didn't really know any Shaylans. One of my parents' friends had a daughter named Shayla. I didn't realize that at the time, I don't think, until like afterwards, but I just really liked the name, and obviously I had a boy, so I didn't end up using it, and then Scott didn't like the name, so it was out of consideration for any of our other children. The next name on the list is actually what Lucas's name would have been if he were a girl, and his name would have been Harper. I really liked the name Harper. Scott liked the name Harper, so that's what we were gonna go with for if it was a girl, but he ended up being a boy, so we went with Lucas. And I just find it funny how he liked the name then, but this time around for this baby, he did not like the name Harper. So Scott's mind changes. He's very picky. I found when it came to girl names versus boy names, every time I threw a girl name at him through any of the pregnancies, it was like, no, 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 no. He was kind of picky with boy names, but more so with girl names. So I don't know. He was difficult to deal with. Another name that I liked, but Scott was never fond of, so it never made any of our lists, but I've always liked this name, was Wyatt. I always thought the name Wyatt was a very cute yet strong boy name, so I couldn't picture myself with a son named Wyatt, but I do still really like the name. The next name is a girl name, and it is Olivia. I really wanted to use Olivia for this time around before we even found out it was a girl. I really like the name Olivia. It's very pretty, but it has been very, very popular, and I know quite a few people who have had an Olivia recently. I'm sure there's quite a few Avas, and I'm sure it's a popular name. I don't personally know anybody who has a daughter named Ava or anything like that. So since we picked it for this baby, I feel I like the name Ava more for our baby than I do Olivia, but Olivia is still a very pretty name. Landon really wanted to name the baby Olivia because of the One Direction song Olivia. I just think it was really funny because he loves One Direction. So every time that song comes on, he goes, I still think we should name my baby sister Olivia. And the next name is actually the boy name that would have been this baby's name if she were a boy, and it was Finley. We had always liked the name Finley. It is starting to pop up a little bit more. I'm starting to see it more here and there, but Scott had a great uncle that he never got to meet, and his name was Finley, so Scott really liked that name, and obviously we would call him Finn or something like that, but we always thought that name was cute and a little bit different. My next choice was really kind of Scott's choice, and it was for this baby girl, and it was narrowed down to Ava in this name, and Scott just said he liked Ava more, but Scarlett was the other option. So our baby would have been chosen between Scarlett and Ava, and Scott chose Ava. Scarlett is a very pretty name, I find. I picture a blonde baby when I think of Scarlett. Scott pictures Scarlett Johansson, and that's why he liked the name, and that's why I was kind of like, that's what you're naming our daughter after, is the actress you have the hots for. So I wasn't too keen on that idea, although I did really think the name was pretty. We won't be using it. The next name is Scott's top choice. Oh my goodness. He has been trying so hard for both pregnancies, for if it was a boy, even for Lucas, if it was a boy, he wanted to name the baby, ready, drum roll, Scott. He wanted to name the baby Scott. I said, first off, you can't do that. Yeah, he couldn't do that. Because usually if you're going to name a son after the father, it's usually the firstborn son. And so Landon was obviously already born. We couldn't do that. And I said, there's no way I'm having another Scott Borland in this world. There's already too many. His uncle's name is Scott. His name is Scott. They both have the same last name, and it's just like, we don't need a third. Nothing wrong with the name, just we don't need another one. The next name is a girl name, and I was kind of leaning towards this name for this baby as well, because I kind of wanted to stick to the L names, but I didn't end up doing that because Scott was really against this name, and there wasn't very many L names that I liked. So we didn't end up going with another L name because I thought it'd be nice to have the 3 L's in the family. But the next name, which Scott was not a fan of, was Lydia. And I thought Lydia was just such a pretty, classy name, and like, I feel like it could come back. Like, I feel like it's coming back. I've seen a couple girls named Lydia, like on Instagram accounts and on Twitter and stuff like that, and I just really like the name. I just think it's very pretty. I don't know, but Scott did not like it because it reminded him of somebody, and that's his main issue with girl names. It's like, oh, I knew a girl in high school and her name was this and I just didn't like her, or this reminds me of this person, and I'm just like, I can't keep up with you. And our final name was one on the list for this current baby, and it was Calvin. Calvin is just, I feel like it's a strong name as well. I think if Scott wasn't so hung up on Finley, because he really liked Calvin as well, that if Finley wasn't an option, that Calvin would have been this baby's name. It would have been the runner-up to Finley. I think it's a very cute name, very strong, good male name, I find. But we're having a girl, so we didn't even consider any other boy names after Finley. So these are the baby names that I liked, but we didn't use. Whether we use it in the future, I don't think that's possible, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be our last little bean. So if this is, which it's like an 85% chance that this is the last baby, then we won't be using any of those names. I found throughout every pregnancy we had a new list of names, and it's like the old ones weren't even an option anymore. So I don't know, if there was another baby, who knows if any of these names would make it onto the list, because personally I think my husband's pretty picky with names. picky, but I find it very hard to choose a boy name at this point because I've already picked two that I like, and obviously those are my son's names. And when I think back on other names that I like of boys, I don't know. I just can't picture myself with them or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm so glad I got a video up. I really wanted to film something quick for you guys. I had a couple bummy days, so I was like, I just want to film another video for my other channel. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, clicking on it. Give it a nice little thumbs up, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!